Most of us subconsciously believe that if you are consistent, then the progress needs to look like this. After reading the book Mastery by George Leonard, I realized this idea is not just wrong. It also sets you up for failure. In reality, the path to mastery never looks like that. It looks like this. When you start a new skill, you'll experience a short burst of progress. This is exciting, but it's soon followed by a decline, and you hit a plateau where nothing is happening. Even though you're stuck, this plateau is still a step above where you started. If you stick with it long enough, another small jump happens, followed by another decline, and another plateau. If you've ever tried losing weight, you've seen this yourself. Week 1, you drop 4 pounds. In week 2, you gain 2 back. And in week 3, nothing happens. This is the plateau. Most people give up when they hit the plateau. They expect constant improvement. Mastery is more like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then staying in the same place for a long time. Probably 95% of the path to mastery is spent on the plateau where you see no progress. Mastery is a slow, bumpy road. However, nowadays, not everyone has the patience to keep going or stay during those plateau moments. This brings me to the next point, which is lesson number 2. Everyone wants a quick fix. The path to mastery, according to society, has no plateau, but instead it looks like this. Climax upon climax. We are bombarded with messages like instant money, instant millionaire, instant celebrities, instant noodles, etc. Everything must be quick and fast. We don't want to diet. We want some magic tea that'll make us lose 11 pounds in a week. We don't want exercise to have a healthy heart. We want a $30,000 operation that will split our chest wide open. But this doesn't seem to matter. At least, it's a quick fix. The truth is that there's no quick fix. Mastery isn't about shortcuts or always moving forward. It's about how you handle the plateau. The question is, which mindset do you bring to the table? The dabbler, the obsessive, or the hacker? Number 1, the dabbler. The dabbler loves starting new things, whether it's a sport or a new career. He gets excited by the newness. When he makes his first bit of progress, he is thrilled. But then the plateau comes. His excitement fades. He starts skipping lessons. He starts thinking, maybe this isn't for me. He quits and goes to start something new. The same thing applies to careers. Excited in the beginning and then, oh no, here comes the plateau again. Maybe this job isn't for me. It's time to look around again. The dabbler has a very long resume. Number 2, the obsessive. The obsessive, just like its name suggests, is obsessed. He loves the results, and it doesn't matter how to get them. Just get it fast. He stays after class talking to the instructor. He asks what books and courses he can buy to help him progress faster. The obsessive starts by making great progress, but when he finds himself on a plateau, he doesn't accept it. If the dabbler quits when he meets the plateau, the obsessive doubles his effort. He refuses the plateau. He pushes himself. He works all night. He takes shortcuts for the sake of quick results. After going through rough ups and downs, he hurts himself due to doubling efforts. He slows down and finally quits. Number 3, the hacker. The hacker has a different attitude. He's willing to stay on the plateau, but doesn't want to work hard toward the next level either. After some progress, he reaches a plateau and just stays there. He doesn't care. He likes his comfort zone. At work, he does only enough to get by, leaves early, takes every break, talks instead of doing work, and wonders why he doesn't get promoted. To recap, the dabbler reaches the plateau, gets scared, and quits to chase another new thing. The obsessive refuses the plateau. He doubles his efforts, hurts himself, eventually burns out, and quits. The hacker reaches the plateau and just stays there in his comfort zone. According to the author, in his workshops, he asks the audience to raise their hands which of the three would best describe themselves. In almost every case, the response breaks down into nearly even thirds. So which one are you? These three characters are not meant to say how much you fall short, but rather to help you on the path to mastery. By recognizing which one you are, you can adjust how you respond when you hit the plateau. Now, apart from the plateau and these three personalities, there is one more powerful force that is going to stop you. This force is within yourself, and it's called homeostasis. I'll explain it in the next lesson. Lesson number 4, understanding homeostasis. Here is a family of 5, and the father happens to be an alcoholic. When he's drinking, chaos happens in the family. So chaos is the normal state. For some reason, the father decided to stop drinking. You might think the family will live happily ever after. However, within a few months, some other family member, say the youngest one, will do something to create chaos in the family. Why does this happen? It's because of homeostasis. Homeostasis is a force that tries to keep things in the same state, even if that state is unhealthy and miserable. For example, if you don't exercise for 20 years, your body regards that as normal. When you start to exercise, something might happen. Maybe you'll feel dizzy. Maybe there's a panicky feeling inside. And that's homeostasis giving its signal, resisting change. Homeostasis is your body and mind's way of trying to keep things familiar. It doesn't only work on a very tiny scale like the cells in our bodies. It also works on a big scale, like in a family, and also in a country. We might think our culture doesn't like change, but the truth is that homeostasis works to keep things as they are, even if they aren't very good. It resists all change. It has a sneaky way of striking back, like the example of the alcoholic father, or the feeling of discomfort when you start to exercise. So, if there's homeostasis, how can we change then? That I will explain in the next lesson, which is lesson number 5. 3 ways to deal with homeostasis. First, recognize how homeostasis works. You might encounter resistance in different forms, physically, mentally, or socially from friends and relatives. Say that you always get a plate, and now you change. Before this, you came to the office after 9, and now that you wake up earlier, you come at 8. Your coworkers or family might not welcome the change, not because they wish you harm. You need to be aware that it's just homeostasis doing its job. Second, be willing to negotiate with your resistance to change. What should you do then? Don't back off. You can't be sure exactly where the resistance will pop up. Is it inside your body or by the people around you? Stay alert. Use that resistance as a guide. It's a sign that you are changing. And third, build a support system. Surround yourself with people who understand what you're going through, those who have faced similar challenges or are on a similar journey. This could be a mentor, a friend, or even an online community. These people can offer advice, share their experiences, and provide encouragement when you need it most. Having people in your corner can make all the difference when homeostasis tries to pull you back into your old habits. Now that you understand plateau, the 3 personality types, and how to deal with homeostasis, you're probably ahead of 95% of people. However, don't get excited yet, because there are 10 challenges that are going to stop you. Lesson number 6, 10 challenges along the path to mastery. Number 1, inconsistency. Okay, I agree that consistency is king. I won't argue with you on this, but I want to warn you about something that I call blind consistency. Let me explain. I once met a guy who had a book summary YouTube channel just like this one. He'd produced a few videos and asked for my opinion about his channel. As soon as I opened one video, I saw a few complaints about the quality of the audio. There were also a few more issues, so I shared everything I thought needed to be improved. After 9 months, I accidentally came across his channel and was surprised to see that all this time he had kept uploading consistently. However, when I clicked on one of his recent videos, I noticed that he still had the same exact problems. Yes, he was consistent, but he never improved. He never changed. He never listened to complaints. To me, this is blind consistency. Yes, you need to be consistent, but you also need to stop, look back, and improve with every iteration. So if you're stuck in the same place for a long time, there's a chance that you forgot to analyze and make changes to your plan. Number 2, poor instruction. You sign up for a free course to learn how to build a website, but the instructor skips key details, doesn't explain the basics, and uses outdated software. You end up feeling lost and frustrated, doubting your ability to do it on your own. The issue isn't you, it's the poor instruction. But remember, the responsibility for getting good instruction is on you, not your teacher. Number 3, conflicting way of life. What you want to achieve in your life might be different from your current career. For example, you might be working as a project manager, simultaneously studying at the university, but you're passionate about building a YouTube channel. This creates a conflict because your job and studies take up most of your energy, leaving little for your side project. This was exactly the case with me. This is a tough spot to be in, but this is the reality with most of us today. We have to support ourselves financially and at the same time find a way to keep the dream alive. If you're also facing the same conflict, then you have to make sacrifices and find some creative solutions. Unfortunately, there's just no other way around it. For example, my solution was to wake up early and work on my side project for 2 hours before I left for work. I made sure that I first worked for myself before I worked for somebody else. Number 4, perfectionism. Sometimes we set such a high standard for ourselves that no one could ever meet them. Mastery is not about perfection. It's about a process, a journey. Let me give you my own example. For a long time, I struggled with perfectionism when it came to hiring people. I had this subconscious expectation that whoever I hired would be able to take over completely with a little guidance. I thought I could just step back and let them run with it. But when they didn't meet that impossible 100% standard, I would get frustrated and disappointed. I would blame them or myself. It wasn't until I took a step back and realized that the real issue was my own expectation. When I lowered my standard to 80%, everything started to shift. I saw that 80% done by someone else was still a huge help. And with time, as we worked on more projects together, that 80% slowly improved, getting close to 100%. Number 5, injuries. If your path to mastery is a physical one, like martial arts or sports, yes, you need to keep pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, but you still need to know your limit. Don't push yourself too much that it leads to injuries, because injuries can take you off the path, either temporarily or permanently. Pushing your limits in business or sports means working with your body, not ignoring it. Staying safe isn't just about being careful. It's also about paying attention to your body's signals. It's kind of like driving a car. You don't just drive slowly. You also watch for warning lights on your dashboard. Number 6, vanity. Vanity refers to the desire to look good in front of others, which can be a significant obstacle on the path to mastery. When you focus too much on how others see you, you avoid taking risks, trying new things, or making mistakes. Instead of asking questions in a meeting at work, you'll think, if I ask this question, people will think I'm dumb. So you stay silent. Or if you start a boxing class, you might worry so much about how you look that you forget to focus on practicing the technique. The fear of looking silly will stop you from getting better. True masters shouldn't be afraid of looking like an idiot or making mistakes. Number 7, over-competitiveness. The master who only focuses on winning is bound to lose in the long run. The saying, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing, is one of the biggest myths. If winning is the only thing that matters, then practice, morals, discipline, and character mean nothing. Over-competitiveness creates more losers than winners. Who knows how many future Olympic medalists have walked away from sports because their coaches preached that beating the school across town is the only goal, and it doesn't matter how you play as long as you win. Don't get me wrong, winning is an important part of the journey, but it's not everything. Competition adds excitement to life, just like salt and pepper add flavor to food. But salt and pepper can't be the whole meal. A true master knows how to win with grace and lose with equal grace. Number 8, obsessive goal orientation. When you want to climb a mountain, you have to be aware that the peak is ahead, but don't keep looking at it. Keep your eyes on your path. Don't keep looking at your $1 million goal, but instead aim for the first 1,000, then 10,000, and then 20,000. Number 9, prizes and medals. Excessive use of external motivation can slow and even stop your journey to mastery. There was a study where children were given gold stars as rewards for good performance. Initially, this motivated them to work harder, but over time, their progress slowed down, even when more stars were offered. The children became more focused on earning stars than on learning, showing that while rewards can boost motivation at first, they don't lead to lasting improvement. True growth comes from being driven by a desire to learn, not just by external rewards. Number 10, don't be too serious. Just enjoy. They say laughter is the best medicine. Just loosen up yourself sometimes and make your path to mastery enjoyable. Lesson number 7, loving the plateau. From a young age, we were told to study well in school, to get good grades, so that we could go to college, so that we could land a good job. Again and again, we were told to do something so that we could get to the next thing. We were taught to value the prize, chase for the next thing, and the next thing. But no one told us to enjoy and value the current moment, which is the plateau. Here's how we live our life now. You get rushed to get dressed, but getting dressed doesn't count. Then you hurry through breakfast, but eating breakfast doesn't count. Then you rush to work, but getting to work doesn't count either. It's like everything we do in between the important stuff is just a hassle to get through. And the plateau is similar to these in-between moments. If you stop to think about it, most of life is in between. For example, there are 24 hours in a day. In a year, we have 8,760 hours. During the non-playoff year, the actual playing time for a National Football League is 16 hours. So for the player, does this mean the remaining 8,744 hours of the year are in between? We know that the Zen students focus on meditation, but they also practice meditation while sweeping the courtyard and while washing the dishes. Zen students don't take these sweeping and washing dishes as in between. Those little things are also counted. That's the mentality we need to embrace in our path to mastery and in life itself. So next time you wash your dishes, enjoy the movement. You don't have to hurry doing your in-between moments. All right, we're almost done. I will end this video with a story from the author. Lesson number 8, consistency despite of no recognition. When the author was a little child, his father used to bring him to the office on Saturdays. His father worked in the fire insurance business. Besides playing around the office, the author said he also loved to sit there and watch his father doing work. The author was mesmerized by the depth of his father's concentration. His father was in his world, entirely relaxed and focused as he opened envelopes of various sizes and shapes, sorted the contents into piles, and made notes for his secretary. All the time he worked, his lips were slightly parted, his breath steady and calm, his eyes soft and his hands moving steadily, almost hypnotically. He was an ambitious man, with a burning desire for the extrinsic reward of his work, including public recognition and even fame. And most importantly, he loved his work. His father's colleague later told him that his father was among the best in his field, but still, he didn't get the public recognition and fame that he always wished for. In the end, what his father left behind wasn't public recognition, but a profound example of loving your work for its own sake. Love of your work and willingness to stay with it, even if you don't get the recognition, is good food and good drink. This is it for this video. If you want a one-page visual summary of all 8 lessons, which you can print and use as a reminder, the entire text of this video as a PDF if you prefer reading, and an audio file if listening is more your style, then check out the description for more info. Thanks for watching.